So we are discussing the topic returns. And before discussing the topic returns, GST returns, let me share this screen with you. This screen is basically CGST Act, and the chapter is 9 returns. This is my CGST Act. Chapter 9 deals with returns. I hope you can see the screen carefully. So chapter 9 of the CGST Act deals with returns. Section 37 is relevant, and the heading says outward supplies. So under section 37, the returns are related to outward supplies. The next section, 38, it deals with what? Inward supplies. It deals with what? Inward supplies. 37 section of the CGST Act only deals with outward supplies information. 38 deals with inward supplies information. 39 is important section, which combines both section 37 as well as 38 as well as other relevant information. 39 is main section. It simply says furnishing returns. 37 was only saying outward supply information. 38 was only saying inward supply information, but 39, it deals with outward supply information, inward supply information, GST payable, etc., etc., so many other information. 39 is the main section of return. It is lengthy section 39. Then section 40. The heading of section 40 is first return. I will explain all these sections in detail in my simplified language. For the timing, I am showing you the original act. I am skipping section 41 and 42 as well as 43. These are not relevant in the topic of returns. We have already covered it in other sections, other chapters. Then after section 41, which was first return, directly I am coming to section 44, and the heading is annual return. This section is also very important. So section 39 is very important section of return, and 44 is also relevant. 45 section, the name is final return. As the name suggests final, that means it deals with only those people whose this return will be final return. After this, they will not file any return. So it is final return. Then we have section 46, that who do not fail to furnish the return, they have to be issued a notice. Then we have section 47, which tells the fee, late fee. If I do not file my return on time, then how much fee I have to submit. Then 48 is GSTP, Goods and Services Tax Practitioner. That means assistance can be taken from those people who are registered as GST practitioners. If as a businessman I do not know how to file, I can take the help of these practitioners. So now let me share with you the simplified version of this topic, returns, from my book. Can you see this Word file? Kindly reply through chat window. Can you see this file? Okay, now this is the language of my book. Okay, so see this topic returns in simplified language. I told you that which sections are there in returns, which are the relevant sections for our purpose. Section 37, which deals with information regarding outward supplies. Section 38, which deals with information regarding inward supplies. Section 39 is most important. It gives different returns for different class of people. That means there will be different form numbers for different categories of people. It is all in section 39. So let us discuss initially my first section, section 37. The heading of section 37 is what? Furnishing details of outward supplies. Rather than first discussing with you the detail, let me show you a simplified table which will help you in understanding this topic return. Now this is the table. This table is a combination of all these sections of returns. I have merged all the sections of returns in this table so that you can understand the concept of return. Return form number GSTR1. Now this is my first form GST. GSTR means GST goods and services tax. R means return. So GSTR1. It is as per section 37. GSTR1 description monthly details. So this word is relevant, monthly. That means this form has to be filed on monthly basis and it only gives the information of outward sales. Now can you make a sense under which section I am talking about or of which section I am talking about? I am talking about section 37. Section 37 makes it mandatory to furnish outward supplies. So if I am using the word outward supply, that means this GSTR1 is as per section 37. But in the chapter of return, you are not supposed to learn these sections. You simply learn the forms, that which form is applicable to which class of person. So monthly says, next point, who has to furnish this outward supply information? Every person, registered person, whose annual turnover exceeds 1.5 crore. Now these people are treated as big businessmen for the purposes of filing returns. So government says that if your aggregate annual turnover exceeds 1.5 crore rupees, you have to give us the information on monthly basis and you have to furnish the information of outward supplies in your GSTR1. Then what is the due date of furnishing GSTR1? It is 10th of next month. If my turnover exceeds 1.5 crore rupees and suppose I want to furnish the information of outward supplies which took place in Feb 2020, February 2020, then the last date of furnishing my GSTR1 is 10th March 2020, 10th of next month. I hope it is clear. But within this section 37, or if I'm talking about this GSTR1 itself, there are small businessmen also whose turnover does not exceed 1.5 crore rupees. Now government says that if your turnover aggregate in a year doesn't exceed 1.5 crore rupees, then you are not supposed to give us your outward supply information on monthly basis. Then government says give the outward supply information on quarterly basis. That is the only difference. So this is quarterly detail of outward supplies. And this is for those people whose turnover is up to 1.5 crore, means doesn't exceed 1.5 crore. And there the due date is different. I'm not telling you the due date right now because you don't have a common one due date. For different quarters, you are having different due dates. That's it. This is my GSTR 1. I hope GSTR 1 is clear. It talks about outward supply information for big businessmen on monthly basis. The due date is 10th of next month. For small businessmen on quarterly basis, and due date for different quarters. April to June is different. July to September is different. October to December is different. Jan to March is different. So I'm not giving you the details of different dates of different quarters. You only must know that there are different due dates for different quarters. My GSTR 1 is over. I hope this concept is clear. GSTR 1. Next, GSTR 2. GSTR 2. It talks about inward supplies. Now, can you make a sense of which section I'm talking about? I'm talking about section 38. If you remember section 38, section 38 deals with inward supply. Every registered person has to furnish this GSTR 2, and here the due date is 10th to 15th of next month. In case of GSTR 1, which talks about outward supply, the due date is 1 to 10th of next month. In case of inward supply, the due date is 11th to 15th of next month. But the point is, since GST is a new concept made applicable in India from 1st July 2017, till today, government has not made it mandatory. Or not mandatory, government has not at all notified this GSTR 2. So, the Act says that you should give your information of inward supply also, but GSTR 2 is not yet notified by the government of India. So, in India, till today, there is no GSTR 2. Maybe after some time, when the people will become familiar, government will make it mandatory and will notify GSTR 2. But you must know that there is something like GSTR 2 also. For the timing, government has not made it applicable. Anytime they can make it applicable. GSTR 2 talks about inward supplies, but this is not applicable for the time. Then next concept. Now after GSTR 1 and 2, I am starting with GSTR 3. And now I am starting basically with section 39, which is the main section of return. GSTR 3. It is for whom? So I'm reading now section 39 basically. It is again monthly information. GSTR 1 was only for outward supply. GSTR 2 information of inward supply, but GSTR 3 is a, you can say, comprehensive form. It will ask you the details of outward supply, inward supply, tax payable, ITC availed, etc. etc. So many information is required. It is like income tax return forms, which is comprehensive. So GSTR 3 is also a comprehensive form. Every registered person has to fill it. Every registered person except, but we have some exceptions. Exceptions mentioned at serial number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gradually we will learn to know. Right now we are at serial number 3. Okay, right now we are at serial number 3, but this form is applicable to all the people except these 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 serial number people. I will show you these people. These are special people. The due date is 20th of next month. So GSTR 3 is a comprehensive form. It asks you to give the details of not only outward supply, outward, inward, GST payable, ITC availed, etc. etc. It asks for monthly information. It is applicable to every registered person except 6 special people. Those 6 special people are written at serial number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The due date is 20th of next month. But this form is not yet made applicable in India. Why? Because we have another form, GSTR 3B. It is similar to GSTR 3, exactly similar. The only difference in GSTR 3B is that, so what is the difference in 3 and 3B? GSTR 3 says monthly information of everything. GSTR 3B says same thing, which is mentioned in GSTR 3, same category. If you can read it, it is same category like 3. Every registered person except the persons mentioned at serial number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But one condition, whose time limit has been extended. That is the only extra point. Whose time limit for furnishing of details in form GSTR 1 or form GSTR 2 has been extended. This is the point which you should note. Extended one. GSTR 1 talks about outward supplies. The due date is 10th of next month. GSTR 2 talks about inward supplies. The due date is 11th to 15th of next month. But suppose in GSTR 1, the due date for me has been extended by the government of India. Act says that the due date is 10th of next month, but government, for example, has increased this date from 10th to 12th of next month, just by 2 days. And in that case, I cannot use GSTR 3. I have to use GSTR 3B. This is the only difference. If dates are not extended to furnish GSTR 1 and 2, then I am supposed to file GSTR 3. If dates of furnishing the information in GSTR 1 and 2 have been extended, I cannot file GSTR 3. I have to file GSTR 3B. And do you know, since the day when GST has become applicable, the due dates of different returns have always been extended. So logically, I cannot be having GSTR 3 till today. Why? Because due dates of GSTR 1 and 2 have always been extended. In fact, GSTR 2 has been permanently extended for the time being because it is not yet notified. So what is the difference in GSTR 3 and 3B? GSTR 3 is applicable when there is no extension of due dates mentioned in GSTR 1 and 2. But GSTR 3B is applicable whenever there is an extension in GSTR 1 and 2. And for the time being, there has been extension always of GSTR 1 and 2. That is why till today we don't have GSTR 3 in India. We have only GSTR 3B. So same thing. So this is the only difference in GSTR 3 and 3B. That whenever you have an extension given by the government of furnishing GSTR 1 and 2, then you should use GSTR 3B rather than 3. So no person can furnish both these forms, 3 or 3B. Any one form has to be furnished, either 3B or 3. And in almost all the cases, only 3B has been furnished by the people. So till today in India, there is no GSTR 3. So what is the due date of 3B? 20th of next month. That's it. So 3B is also monthly return of all information. The due date 20th of next month. I hope the concept is clear. If you have any problem, you can ask me. I'm waiting for 2 minutes. Through chat window, you can ask me. If GSTR 1, 2, 3 and 3B are not clear, you please ask. I'm waiting for 2 minutes for your queries if you have. If clear, then kindly reply through chat window. GSTR 1, 2, 3 and 3B. I have covered 4 forms. 1. Outward supply. 2. Inward supply. 3 and 3B. Monthly information of so many things. Through chat window you can reply. If you have any doubt, you please ask me. I will wait only for 1 or 2 minutes maximum. I hope I shall proceed now. So we have covered 4 forms. GSTR 1, GSTR 2, GSTR 3 and GSTR 3B. Right now in India we don't have GSTR 2 and 3. We have only GSTR 1 for the time being and 3B. Now in 3B, if you remember, the word used is every person has to fill this form, except whom? Except these persons who are mentioned at serial number 4, serial number 5, serial number 6, 7, 8, 9. Now these all 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 serial number are special persons. So let us discuss these special people who are not supposed to file GSTR 3B. So let us discuss serial number 4. This is first special person, quarterly return person, composition levy schemes taxpayer. Any person who has opted to pay tax under composition levy scheme is not required to furnish monthly return because GSTR 3B says monthly information, but for composition levy scheme subscriber or taxpayers, there is no compulsion of monthly information, quarterly return. That is why these people will not use GSTR 3B to furnish all their information. They will use GSTR 4, and for them the due date is 18th of next month succeeding any quarter. For example, if it is April to June quarter, 18th July is the due date. July to September quarter, 18th October is the due date. It is for composition levy scheme taxpayers that they have to furnish not GSTR 3B but GSTR 4. Next special person, monthly information, non-resident. Being a non-resident, that person will do business not on regular basis maybe. So for these people, you have special form GSTR 5. So every non-registered person non-resident person has to furnish GSTR 5 rather than GSTR 3B. So this non-resident taxable person will also not furnish GSTR 3B but furnish GSTR 5, and the due date is 20th of next month or within 7 days after the last day of the validity of the registration. If you remember registration, I have forgotten whether I have taught you registration or not. I do not exactly remember whether I have taught you registration or not. But in registration, this concept is there. This person is a non-resident. When they get their GST registration, it comes with a validity certificate. For a person who is a resident and lives in India, whenever you get any registration, it becomes permanent until unless you surrender it or cancel it. Just like my PAN number. Under Income Tax Act, my PAN number is permanent. I'm not supposed to give any information to the tax department. Same is the case in case of GST also. GSTN number is permanent. But for non-resident, GSTN number is not permanent. It comes with some validity. For example, 3 months validity or maximum 6 months validity. So what is the due date of these people to furnish the return? 20th of next month or within 7 days after the last day of the validity period of registration. Now, for example, I am a non-resident and I have to furnish the return of January 2020, Jan 2020. So what is the due date? 20th Feb, 20th of tax month, 20th Feb, or 7 days after the last day of validity period. Suppose my registration certificate becomes invalid on the last date of validity period of my registration certificate is 3rd Feb 2020. So what is the due date? 20th Feb or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th Feb 2020, whichever is earlier. This is my GSTR 5 non-resident person. Third special category who are not supposed to furnish 3B but a separate form. It is GSTR 5A, special person. OIDAR services. Do you remember OIDAR services? Online information and database access retrieval services. If these services are supplied from outside India, because in online transactions, so many times I get some services where the servers are outside India, companies are located outside India. From a place outside India to any unregistered person in India. OIDAR services, online information and database access retrieval services. If such services are supplied by any person located outside India to any unregistered person in India, then the supplier has to furnish the return not in GSTR 3B but in GSTR 5A. The due date is 20th of next month. It is again monthly information. So I have covered GSTR 1, 2, 3, 3B, 4, 5, 5A. 6 return forms I have covered. Next, 6, GSTR 6. Again, for these people, furnishing the return under GSTR 3B is not possible. They have to furnish the return in GSTR 6. It is also again monthly information by Input Service Distributor ISD. The due date is 13th of next month. We have covered the concept of Input Service Distributor in the chapter Input Tax Credit section 20, distributing ITC. GSTR 7, again special person, deductors. If you remember, we have covered this chapter TDS. So it is also monthly information. Every deductor is not supposed to furnish GSTR 3B but has to furnish GSTR 7, 10th of next month. Another special category, GSTR 8. It is TCS, tax collected at source, and under GST, only electronic commerce operator ECU is required to collect tax at source for all the supplies which are happened through that operator. It is also monthly information. So this electronic commerce operator is also not supposed to furnish the return in GSTR 3B, but has to furnish GSTR 8, 10th of next month. That's it. So my 70% topic of return is over. So technically there are only three concepts. Outward supply GSTR 1, inward supply GSTR 2, all complete information GSTR 3 or 3B. Since we don't have GSTR 3 right now, I am saying only 3B, that's it. But in some cases, or exactly in 3 cases, GSTR 3B cannot be filed by those people because of their special category status. So rather than furnishing the comprehensive information in 3B, some people, who are those people? Those people are composition levy scheme taxpayers. Those people are non-residents. Those people are supplier of OIDAR services. Those people are input service distributor. Those people are deductors, and those people are electronic commerce operators. That's it. These 6 category of people will not furnish GSTR 3B, but will furnish separate forms which are applicable for these people. So technically, you should not think these GSTR returns as so many returns. There are only 3 returns. Outward supply GSTR 1 same, inward supply GSTR 2 same, and combination of so many information, requirement of so many information under GSTR 3B same, except 6 class of people. Those 6 class are having separate forms for having comprehensive information. Composition levy scheme taxpayers GSTR 4 quarter, non-resident GSTR 5 monthly, supplier of OIDAR services GSTR 5A monthly, input service distributors GSTR 6 monthly, deductors TDS GSTR 7 monthly, TCS tax collected at source, electronic commerce operator GSTR 8 monthly. So technically my 70% topic of return is over. My section 39 is over now. So I am coming with the next section. Any doubt you can ask me. I have covered 3 sections of return, section 37, section 38 and section 39 with the help of this simplified table. Any problem you ask me. I'm waiting for your doubts. If you have any, through chat window you can ask me. Or else tell me whether the concept is clear or not. Hurry up, I'm waiting for your reply. Okay, so let me come back with a new meeting, because the meeting time is going to be over very soon. It is only having 40 minutes time limit. So let me end this meeting. It will be going to automatic recording and save. So it will take around 5 to 7 minutes, and I'll come back after 5 to 7 minutes. We will continue the topic return from section 40 onwards. In this topic, in this class, I have discussed with you only three sections: 37, 38, and 39. 37 section will tell you GSTR 1. 38 section tells you GSTR 2, and section 39 tells you GSTR 3, 3B, 4, 5, 5A, 6, 7, and 8. That's it. In the next class, we will continue with section 40.